looking ahead to this week against Western Michigan?
Really excited about getting the chance to get back out there. No question. Had a great battle with them last year. They're playing really good football right now. We feel terrible about how we finished last week's game. And so we're excited about preparing this week and having another chance to get out there and get better.
Questions for Coach?
Chris, I'm going to talk to you on Wednesday, so I'm not going to go into a huge deep dive right now. But I have noticed that it seems like the teams in the MAC West. I mean, I saw Northern Illinois against Western in person on Saturday. There really isn't a huge gap between the teams that are, maybe have 3 wins or 4 wins, and the teams that maybe have, are still looking for their first win. I mean, I guess you kind of maybe try to convince your team that, we can do what Northern Illinois did on Saturday to Western. If we play our game, it's going to be, competitive for 4 quarters.
Oh, I would hope that we would do better if we play well than what Northern did. I mean, we absolutely plan on winning the game. It's what you said, I think is true. We've had 3-4 quarter leads and have lost, and there's reasons for that. And, we can't turn the ball over 5 times and win. We're not playing good enough football to win, but it is in this league, I think it's this year, I think it's really pretty much every year with almost every team. If you come to play and play well, you've got a chance to win. And if you don't, you're going to lose. And it doesn't really matter who you are. We're right on the edge, on the verge. And if we don't play well, I mean, Toledo beat us. That wasn't a game, on that night where we were as competitive as we would have liked to have been. But, the other 3 games, super disappointed.
Adversity usually is a better teacher for a team than winning is, or, better teaching for coaching. And there's more learning things out of adversity. And I know that obviously that doesn't really make it comfortable to not have success and have a win on game day, but are you learning, what are you learning more about your team that's, giving you, confidence in who they are and how they can play moving forward?
No, all these are really good questions. We knew that we were going to be, you can call it, young or inexperienced. There's a little bit of both of that for us. You can not be young, but still be inexperienced in terms of guys who've, played a lot of football. We had 1 spring practice and helmets, and people kind of forget about that. But there's a process from December 26th to this season. And, the process was different for every single program in the country. I get that. We are learning and getting guys experience, every week. I think that's a major positive. Our 5th-year seniors, their first year was in 2016, and we had a winning season and went to the Bahamas Bowl. So essentially, everybody on our team, our graduating seniors last year, in their 4 years, went to 3 bowl games and were 3-0 versus the Big Ten. Maybe too there was a little bit of a disconnect with this group from where we've come from, because they hadn't experienced any of that.
Right.
I knew the last couple of years that it was going to be, the last group or the second to last group who had experienced, just had experienced Eastern Michigan football, the way that it had been. And there's a lot to glean from that. There's deep pit in your stomach of what, you're coming out of, where, now we're competitive and we're winning half of them and losing half of them and going to bowl games. And so, I don't know. We'll see how this season ends up, but I do think that, none of our guys have experienced, what we're going through right now. And I do, long way of saying, I do agree with you that, not having game day success in terms of the final result, can wake you up and can be a really good teacher.
Thanks, Chris. I'll save my other questions for Wednesday when we talk more about Western, but thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Coach. I know last game you got all of your receivers back to start, which is nice. But any word on Darius Boone Jr. and his availability this coming week?
Yeah, we'll meet with our training staff later today, but we're hopeful every week, but we're not in a situation where it's like day to day. He has not practiced. So I would tell you, without having talked to the trainers today, that it's unlikely.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Coach, as you look ahead to Western this week, what's your biggest challenge for stopping them? They've been so good on the return game, especially with Eskridge. How do you have a plan of attack to maybe try to help with your special teams game this week?
Gusty winds always going in our direction. So yeah, if we can kick the ball through the back of the end zone, we would like to do that. He is an awesome player. He is, and sometimes he doesn't get a ton of touches, but what he does with the ball is phenomenal. He's a great player, and we'll have our undivided attention. We don't play every team in the league, especially this year, but it's, I know the back at Buffalo is obviously really, really, really good. Eskridge is just scary good. So our defensive staff is, busy right now trying to figure that out. And watching the teams that Western has played defensively, in the first, whatever it is, 2/3 of the season, we've seen him a lot as an offensive staff, and he's dangerous.